use Twitter. I love Twitter. And as I was telling one of you outside, the reason why I don't use it more personally is simply because I feel that I'm sort of in the headline business anyway. And that's what headline is to some extent. So it's not quite as useful to me as Facebook is. I find Facebook to be extremely useful. I have about 2,100 friends, most of whom are not really friends. And, but here's what I use it for. There are sort of three classes or groups of friends. There are people you know very well who are actually friends. There are people you know tangentially or through your work or what have you, someone you meet. And there are people you don't know at all. I can use it for social purposes. More importantly, I can use it as a database for contacts, which is critical. You get telephone numbers, you get email addresses, you find out a little bit about the individual you're dealing with, and you can have some type of a dialogue with them on any of 100 different topics. It's very useful to be able to find someone anywhere in the United States or the world by searching them on Facebook. So if there's someone I need to find, someone whose name I know but I don't know where they are, the first place I look for them is on Facebook. If there's a person who becomes of interest to the media because of something they've done, something they've said, some situation they were involved in, I look on Facebook for them. I also look on MySpace from time to time because sometimes here in television, we use pictures. There are pictures of people on their Facebook pages. Other ways I use it, of course, are for things like follow-up. If I do a piece and I want to reach out to an individual who was the subject of that piece, again, Facebook. I also can use it to take the temperature of the audience. So I will write something on my Facebook page to ask a question. What do you think of the president's purchase of a Portuguese water dog? And I'm taking the temperature to find out, is the audience sick of this story? Or do they want to hear more? And that sort of tells me, because sometimes in our meetings we're a little bit cynical about the audience interest in a particular subject. I get a variety of different pitches, unbelievable pitches from all over about just about anything on Facebook. If you want to pitch a story to me and you don't want your pitch to sort of go into the about 1,000 emails I get every day on any particular topic, send it to me on Facebook. Right now I have 30,000 emails in my work inbox. I have 300 on Facebook, and I read them. So it's also useful in that way. I said follow up. I think the other thing is maintaining contacts with sources. So I did a story not too long ago in Baltimore about a really troubling murder of a man who was a witness in a trial, and it raised questions about whether Congress ought to step in federal cases to do more, say, to protect witnesses. And so I've stayed in contact with the family of the victim. So that's useful for me in that way. Now, very quickly, some of the downsides, and I won't go on forever, some of the downsides for me are, number one, the amount of information about you that gets out. There's a great, in social media, there's a great potential for mischief, I think is the word we've used. So anyone who knows Facebook understands the wall. What I do is I don't allow people to post on my wall. And it's a function of going into the system, figuring out where the controls are, and saying what it is you want. Because this, many times, is the reason why people don't use it. They're afraid that too much information about them is going to get out there, or something unusual is going to get posted that's embarrassing. From all over the country, I get people posting crazy things if I open up my wall. Once somebody actually put a photoshopped picture of me up on my wall, stealing, I don't know, a pie or right, with the thing over my eyes, and it was clear I was supposed to be a bandit or whatever. You don't like that stuff, and so there are, and then there are the people who put things on your wall that indicate they're more familiar with you than they really are. So that can cause problems too. But on balance, it's very useful. And the last thing I'll say to you is I have so many friends who have left media or left the law who now have gone into a business that has something to do with PR in some way, shape, or fashion. And we were just talking a few minutes ago. When you're in an economic downturn, you sort of have to reach out and look for new ways of doing things. So those of you who aren't into social media, it's a really good idea to start taking the long-term view and realizing that you will be into it eventually because you'll have to be. Everybody else in your business is going to be because you have to be competitive. So with that, I'll shut up and hopefully I haven't used too much more than